Good morning. Waking up to this view I don't think could get old. But I'm moving on today and it's time to get up. Just was doing some work laying here, looking at this beautiful scenery, and I'm gonna take a shower before I leave. So let's get the day started. Okay, now a real good morning from me. As you can see, another just spectacular, stupendous, amazing day. There are a lot more campers here, I suppose, for the weekend coming up. Oop, almost tripped. And I'm gonna tell you, I was inside, I had just taken a shower and I was just getting ready. I haven't done my hair yet. But a fighter jet flew over and really close. And I'm not kidding. Like, you know how you see in Top Gun and you hear that? Like they're doing a flyby? That's exactly what it was like. It was so weird. Anyhow, so I just want to keep it real here. And so I just want to show you what it looks like in the van right now. I am actually a very, I don't like dust all the time and stuff, but I like things put in their place because I like to be able to move around. And I was at that way in my house too, or anywhere. But I'm going to show you just what what it looks like in the van right now. Okay, well, let me open so you can see Lucky Charlene. Good vibes only. Only good vibes, so only leave good comments. All right, yes, that's my sweatshirt hanging over there. That's garbage. So somebody tell me, because I'm new to the camping thing, van life, why don't they have garbage, like, you know, to put your garbage in around here? I looked, I carried it up front. I thought there would be a garbage that I could throw it in, and there wasn't. So I'm gonna take that, and then when I get to like the next gas station, I'll throw it away. There's the ukulele. I'll be working on my next number very soon. That's just stuff. There's my towel, part of my pajamas, my chair that I was sitting outside in. I gotta put all this away. So I'll show you the before and after. But when I wasn't feeling good the other day, I got some ginger ale, and this is the remnants. I forgot to bring it up when I took a shower, so I'm gonna bring it up and clean it out. I had refried beans on a tortilla shell. Yes, I have a very high-class palate. Peanut butter and jelly sandwiches and refried beans on wraps. Yeah, okay. And then this, this is what I do my hair with. Just a whole bunch of stuff. I sleep with this next to my bed. My friend from the Army gave this to me. It's a Smith & Wesson Special Ops. So just know if you're coming in, I'm here. Yeah, I don't know why I have my hat on top of the thing. I'm making coffee next, so we'll do that. And there's my bed. I woke up and I was working on the computer, looking at the beautiful scenery before I went and took a shower. So yeah, van life can be messy when you're just one person. In such a small space, it really just gets like that very quick. So, okay, I am going to do my hair and I'm gonna make some coffee, and then I think we'll chat for a bit. And then I actually, dumping is also included in the $30 fee. I asked them, so on my way out, I'm going to dump, and then I'm gonna hit the road. I'll be sad to leave, but I'm actually excited to see what's next. So, okay, let me get cleaned up, show you the after, and make some coffee. All right. Okay, I cleaned up a bit, but still got that. But I'll deal with that later. So now, this took me a while because it's so small and everything has to be put in its place. But there's that. And I'm gonna sit there and drink my coffee and work on the computer a little bit before I leave. The bed's made. Everything's picked up there. I swept. I am making my coffee. Things go in the sink when I'm about to leave like that, so it just doesn't. My Buddha stays there, but she doesn't move much. And my bed is made. Chuck's happy. I'm back in the van, and I was making my bed and I was leaning over here and I'm like, how freaking lucky am I that I'm here? And honestly, this is where things heal. Okay. Breakfast is ready. I know that looks like a hamburger, but I just changed it up and it's PB&J on a bun, something new. And I love these little creamers, and so that's what I always put in my coffee. But yeah, time to eat breakfast. So I just sat down and I was gonna do some work on the computer, actually respond to a lot of you guys. Thanks for the kind comments from my video this morning. And I wanted to talk about, because I've been kind of embarrassed about this, but just for myself. Does that make sense? Have you ever like, and I don't know if embarrassed is the right word, but so when I drive, you know, I go 55, and what I've realized on this trip is that I don't really enjoy the driving. And that's like, what, at least 75% of the journey. And I have been in car accidents. None of them my fault. One, my girlfriend, oh, there's a fly in here. My girlfriend had to be taken by ambulance. This was in high school because some lady T-boned us. And then just a couple years ago, I was driving to work. It was like 7:15 in the morning, and there were like 4 lanes, and a kid was, I don't know, looking at his phone or doing something, but he was going like 70 miles an hour. And it was the Monday after the 4th of July weekend, and it was really busy. And I was just driving and I was looking over my shoulder because I was going to move into the next lane, and out of nowhere, there's just this crash. I couldn't even comprehend what was happening because it happened so quickly, and it pushed my car forward. And honest to God, all I can say is that angels must have been carrying me, because I do not know, with all that traffic, how I did not hit a car, or a car didn't hit me. And then somehow I got over 4 lanes to pull off on the side of the road. And, you know, I was in shock. Like, I didn't even realize what had happened. And the person did not stop. Oh, nay, they did not stop. I see this black car and it like just keeps going. And nobody stopped. Nobody called the police, because I called the police, and it took them about 20 minutes to get there. It was one guy, very kind, and he's like, "Who hit you?" And I said, "Well, it was a black car and it just kept going that way." And he's like, "Well, maybe it was looking for an exit or something to get off on." I'm like, "No, I don't think so." And so he told me, you know, "Tracy, here's the report. There's not much I can do. Just give it to your insurance," because there was no other car, the car that hit me, to, you know, do anything. And the back was kind of smushed in, and it made a weird noise when I drove. But so I started driving, and again, this is rush hour morning traffic, and I'm like, I was like nervous at that point. So I went to get off on the exit, and lo and behold, there is a car stalled in the middle of the exit. So people are like driving around them. And I'm like, oh, haha. So I go pull over, and he's talking on the phone, and I get out of my car and I go, "Oh, have you called the police?" And he's like, oh yeah, they're on their way. I'm like, mm-hmm. The whole front of his car, I swear to you, was pushed up to the windshield. I do not know how he thought that he was going to like just get away. But anyway, so then I came over and I helped him push it off to the side of the road. And it was a young kid, and he had actually just come from work. He had worked at Target, and he told me that it was his car. I'm like, oh, is it insured? Yes, it's my car, da da da. Well, and then he's on the phone. He goes, hey, my mom wants to talk to you. I'm like, your mom wants to talk to me? Kind of a weird time for your mom to want to talk to me. And by this time, while he was finishing talking on the phone or still in his car, I called the police. And I'm like, hey, I just called you, and the car's right off of this exit, and I'm here with him. And they're like, okay, somebody will be there. And I'm glad the cop that helped me before was the one that showed up. But anyway, the mom, I get on the phone, I'm like, hello. And mind you, I was still in shock. And she's like, oh, I hear that you had a little accident, and I hear it's not that bad. And we can just figure this out so we don't have to go through insurance. Because, you know, insurance, you know, it'll raise your insurance and stuff like that. I'm like, yeah, I just handed it back to the kid, and I'm like, yeah, okay. And then, honest to goodness, I swear to you, within like 5 minutes, his mom and a guy show up and pull off to the side of the road. And right at the same time, the police officer shows up. And she was going to get out of her car and try and talk me into, like, yeah, I don't know, I guess making a deal or something. And there were bullet holes in the guy's car, the one that hit me on the driver's side. I noticed that after I helped push it over. And so the police officer came up to me and then, you know, he's like, Tracey, you can probably go. I got all the information I needed from you in the first report, so you can go. So I drove to work, and yeah, I was in shock all day. My ears were ringing. This is when my brother was dying too, and I went to the chiropractor, and I had problems later on to return to the chiropractor because I just couldn't deal with it at the time. But anyway, so I called my insurance company, and you know how they have to check out your car, and my insurance did not cover, like, you know, getting a rental and stuff. And so I brought it in, and I thought that it would only take like a day or two. Well, they called me the next day and said that it had to be totaled because when he hit the back, he hit like the back right corner, that it broke like the axle rod or something, and it broke something, and I still drove it, and the wheel was rubbing against. That was the noise I heard. But so anyway, this long story to say, I know I have like some mental trauma over like driving and being hit, especially from out of the blue, when like there was no warning. I didn't know he was coming, all of a sudden just to get hit. But so I'm very cautious driving anyway. But driving in this kind of traffic, yeah, especially I just came through Arizona. And like I said, I go 55, I stay in my right lane, and I just like go. And yesterday was kind of a bad day driving. I don't know if it was because I felt sick or something, but it just was really stressful. And honestly, I would stop every 45 minutes, sometimes half an hour, just to stop and breathe and get out and stretch out, and then just get in and keep going. And I just want you to know, because I know a lot of people, well, and especially now, people are just angry. They're just angry. And they take it out on people they don't know when they're driving crazy. Oh my God. Some guy was like weaving in and out, like getting as close as he could to cars. I just don't understand it. You know, what the rush is and why. And like I said, people like mad. I didn't have anybody mad because I was going 55, but not this time. But so, you know, for me, I'm like, oh, I gotta stop off again. And you know, because it puts me back on time too, even though I have to think to myself. And I'm trying to retrain my brain. It's a lot to undo all these things that we've been taught growing up, you know, social things that we thought, like, you know, you have to work a 9 to 5. You should get the house with the picket fence, you know, by a certain age. You should have 2.5 kids. You know, all these things that you think that society has told us that you're a failure, or, you know, if you don't achieve, which is a bunch of bullshit. Sorry. BS? I'll say BS. And so I just want to let other people know, again, embarrassing isn't the word, but for me, it's just that, you know, I'm like, oh, Tracey, you can do this. And there are even times when I was talking to myself, you know, like, you got this, Tracey, like if it was a stressful situation. But why I bring this up too is because I felt so much better. And that's why I do this too, to know that you're not alone in like all these feelings. That a guy was walking by with a group of campers. They were camped over there and they were taking a walk, and they were walking by, and I was sitting out in my chair working on my computer, and I heard him say, the traffic was so bad, and oh my God, I was so nervous that I pulled over. And just him talking like that, like kind of giving the same story that I'm telling you, that made me feel good, that even he had anxiety about driving. And so you just do what you can with what you got. And for me right now, I don't really have to be anywhere at a certain time, so it's really nice. And so I'm trying to, like I said, it's kind of part of the healing thing, you know, that I don't think I realized till I could stop and be quiet, because I didn't think much about like the driving until recently. That, you know, I've been in these accidents, and especially that last one, and nothing happened to the kid. It wasn't even his car. I don't know whose it was. It didn't have insurance on it, and he didn't have a license. And I had talked to the police officer later on, and I said, well, is he going to jail? And I worked in legal field. I worked at a law firm at the time. And he said, Tracey, if we put everybody in jail that didn't have a license or insurance, we wouldn't have any room for the real criminals. And I'm like, oh, okay. And so he didn't have to pay anything, and I only got $6,000 for my car. I love that car, and it worked well. And I had to buy another car, and then I had to pay another $5,000 more to get another car that was comparable to the one I had. So, you know, I didn't do anything wrong, and then, you know, nothing happened to him, and then I ended up having to get a new car and spend that more money. But all in all, just to say, I think for me too, I have some trauma around that, and I guess it is trauma. I'll just leave it at that. Again, just part of the healing process, that now I'm quiet, I can really like feel what I need to heal. And being in a place like this is what helps heal me. A lot of us, I don't think, you know, we're so busy on our phone, and I've been trying to be really good about that, is just taking in the beauty and just being, just sitting in the silence and looking at like all the beauty around me and just being. And that's the thing, you don't have to do anything, you know, what we think is overly achieving in a life to like fulfill a purpose. You already have. You're here. That's proof. That's the magic. You're the magic. Okay, a little deep, a little more life coaching stuff, I think. But anyway, okay, I'm gonna finish my coffee. I ate half my PB&J. I'm done with that. And I'm gonna get on the road. I'm gonna dump before I go. So I gotta wrap this up, and let's see where it takes me. See where I land tonight. It's always an adventure for me too. Okay, see you soon. I'm gonna dump before I go, but look at all the bees. I wonder what's on there that they want. I just made my first stop as I was driving. I left the campsite, and I wanted to tell you what the campsite was, because everybody was asking me, but I don't tell my location until after I leave. So you'll know about this when I leave. And it's called Picacho, P-I-C-A-C-H-O, Picacho Pete State Park. And like I said, I just went off on that exit to get some exercise and stretch out, and I ran into that beautiful place. So if you go, I hope you enjoy it as much as I did. I was trying to get a picture of the sign of it, but when I left, I thought there'd be a big sign, and the freeway was right there, so I had to get on, so I didn't get that. So there you go, there's that information. And so this first stop, I came off on the exit. I looked up a Walmart because I wanted to stop, and somebody had a good idea to get some shower shoes, which I need to get because I probably shouldn't be walking in those showers in my bare feet. But anyway, I digress. So I had, you know, set my GPS to come here. I honestly don't even know where. I'm in Tucson, but I don't know like what part of Tucson. I came off on the Speedway exit, and the Walmart wasn't for like 8.5 miles, like once you get off. So I'm like, I'm just gonna get gas and get a coffee. And honestly, I was driving and I'm like, oh, I'm not even stopping. I pulled up to a pump at a gas station and I wouldn't even get out. And so then I was like, I am just gonna go right back and get back on the freeway. And I turned onto the street, you know, because I had to get out to take a left at the lights. And all of a sudden, there was a Starbucks right across the street. So I'm like, that's where I'll go. And, you know, I only ate half of my peanut butter and jelly sandwich today. And for all those of you, I think it's funny that people are like, Tracy, don't let people tell you what to do, like about your coffee and stuff. So I want to say thank you. When I first started YouTube, people were like, oh, do this, do that, get this. And somebody said, buy me coffee. Never heard of it. And it's where somebody can buy you coffee. So people have bought me coffee, and I want to thank all these people. Julie, Tom, Tamra, Julie. Julie's supported me more than I could ever ask. Thanks for all the coffees, Julie, Marion, Gus, and Lawrence. So I want to thank all you guys for buying me coffee. And guess what? I went all out today. So I got a mango fruit drink, and I got a chicken and quinoa with black beans and greens salad. So there you go. Thanks you guys again for supporting me and all the support, all the beautiful comments that you're leaving today. Yeah, so I am going to skedaddle out of here and figure out like my next stop. I like to have like kind of puddle jumping to reach certain destinations, and then just see how far I get. I don't know how far I'm gonna get today, because I left kind of late from the campsite. I wanted to stay there as long as I could. So I didn't leave. You had to be up by noon, and then I dumped. So I didn't get out of there till after 12:30. So we'll just see where the road takes us. All right, see you soon. You guys, I found Santa Claus. I really want to talk to him. And I actually want to see if he needs anything. I'm gonna go in. So that was fun. So I went in to Love's and I found Wayne, well, that's his name. I found Santa Claus right away, and he was filling up that huge mug, Love's mug that he had. And I walked right up to him and I'm like, hey, I thought I was in the North Pole for a minute. And he started laughing, and I said, I didn't know Santa Claus lived in a warm climate. I said, I'm from Minnesota. And then we just started talking, and I said, hey, could I buy you that? And he said, sure. And so I bought him his drink. And nice guy. I asked him his name. His name is Wayne Thomas. And yeah, That made my day. I told him he made my day. So I'm at this Love's. I'm not sure if I should. There's another exit in a couple miles that I may find like more stuff, but I'm just gonna show you the views from just this parking lot where I'm at. So look at the view, just sitting in the parking lot at Lowe's. And look at those clouds. Okay, that's a little industrial. And then look at those mountains. Guess you can't go wrong anywhere living here as far as the views go. I am in Motel 6 parking lot right now. It's attached to like the Lowe's, but look at that cloud. So I think I'm gonna hunker down here. Although you get all that beauty and then look what people do to it. It's such a freaking shame. Maybe I shouldn't park here. I think I'll park closer. I'll park in the Love's parking lot. But yeah, isn't that sad that that's the beauty that we have? And then this is what us humans do to it. Okay, this is where I'm gonna leave you for today. I'm gonna figure out my parking situation here and hunker down for the night. And then I'm gonna get up early tomorrow and get on the road so I can make up some time. But it's actually nice just being leisurely, and after running into that camp spot, that when I feel like it's time to go off the beaten path, I just follow that instinct now. And I never would have met Wayne had I not gotten off this exit. And so I'm just gonna take it easy the rest of the night, edit this video, and go out and make an adventure, and don't forget your magic. All right, see you tomorrow. Bye.